Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., back in 1963, wished for a nation that his children could live in, where people judge by the content of others' characters and not by the melanin in their skin. Now, fast forward to modern times, there are people who judge by character, and there are some who judge by color, which is pretty sad. And fortunately, I am the type of person who judges people by the content of their character, which is why I am putting it out there, and by it, I mean the content of my character. And though I may be someone who just wants to get this class over with, who doesn't talk much, there's a side of me that I like to put out there. And with that, I have decided to interview my friends from elementary, middle, and high school to support the thesis statement that I am a decent person to be around. And what we are going to talk about is how I'm open to hang around random people, the two sides of me, and that I want to be a better man. So, first off, as a kid, I was usually quiet, but I was out there. Sometimes I would hang out with the girls out in recess, and sometimes I would hang out with the boys. And that's where I met my first friend, Nathan Castaneda. And what he said about me is that we would play basketball in recess. And in recent times, I haven't played as much, but I am pretty good at shooting threes. And with my middle school friend, who's currently my best friend, Vander Pastor, he stated that our friendship is basically unkillable, as we like to joke around a lot, if it's through tragedy or something else, and it's just a friendship that never died. Even though we went to a pandemic, we still kept in contact. And my other best friend, Alan Calloway, he stated that our friendship is quite out there, as we always displayed it in public, and we tend to laugh a lot. And a pattern that's been noticeable, if you could notice it at all, is that how I lean into comedy, and how often me and my friends laugh a lot. And well, I lean into edgy humor, and I am quite an unhinged person when it comes to comedy. Though, if there was some niche topics that people talk about, I will jump into the conversation no matter what. And though there is an edgy side of me, there is a side of me that works hard. I used to work in the Marauder 5 as a cameraman, a floor director, and an engineer. My friend Elon stated that I am a hardworking person and I wanted others to do the same. And the thing is, I also worked on the update where I spent my free periods working on an update package to ensure that I meet the deadline. And most of the time, I always met the deadline. And the only time I didn't make it was spring because I was pretty burnt out. And that led to praise by my teacher, Miss Murray, as I was always putting some extra time into my packages. And finally, let's talk about how I want to become a better man like Jeremy Passion, who needs a woman, as he stated in his song Lemonade, which is pretty old. Some of you may know, but it was released back in 2011. Well, even though I may be edgy, hardworking, stuff like that, I I just want to be a better person, a good example for my nieces and nephews and others. And why not do that by just writing stories, you know? My friend Gabriel Killer talked about how I would take real life scenarios or topics and mix it in with our Grand Theft Auto Online characters. And well, there are times where I took some members of our friend group and put them into stories that take place in like World War II and World War One. And it's and well, they are pretty good to read, though It's not like my best work, as I only did it for humor and love of the game. But as of now, I've been trying to take writing more seriously, as I have no idea if I stated this before, but I am trying to do a revenge story that's not very cliched, but I am trying to figure out how to piece it together and how to keep the cliches at a minimum. And hopefully, what I learned from the writing, I can apply to real life. And that's it. That's why I am a decent guy to be around, because I like to hang around with people. There are two sides with me, an edgy and a hardworking side, and the fact that I am trying to be a better man. And with that, here is my self from high school to sign it out.
All right, with all that wrapped up, let's go back to the studio.